Hi everyone, I'm Jason and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of YouTrack. YouTrack is an issue recording tool. What that means is when you are needing to submit changes for a project or bugs or things that need to be done, this is some software that basically helps you keep track of all of that. So to quickly run through this, here's how it works. When you first go to the site, and the site address is cabugs.com, you're going to need to log in. Once you log in, you're going to see this dashboard. There's a list of projects over here on the left. You can click on a list of projects and see them. When you first go to it, you're going to see something like this, which looks a little convoluted, and so I like to work in the collapsed view. If you put your cursor in the search box and then hit the down arrow key, you can go through each one, and you can hit the right arrow to step inside of each one to see kind of what the details are, what the discussion history is for each one, and see it that way. You can also click on one, so that'll work too. If I wanted to see just the ones that are resolved, I can type in resolved, and then it kind of autofills for me. And just press return. Because Corporation for Public Broadcasting is selected as the project, and I'm looking at hash resolved, this is showing all the resolved ones, as you can see. You can see what's crossed out. You can see the priority, critical, normal, minor, major. If I wanted to see all the ones that are not resolved, I can do negative. Negative simply means the opposite of, so I can see all the ones that were not resolved. I could also say, show me all the ones that are not resolved assigned to J. Cheney, which is me, and I can see which one is assigned to me. I can continue to append search criteria on this indefinitely, and it actually changes the URL up here as you do that. So if I wanted to say assignee, instead of assignee, I can say assigned to me, and that generates the same thing, but the difference is assigned to me means who's ever logged in. So I could send this URL to someone else, and what they see would be whatever is assigned to them. So that's kind of nice. And again, you can say, show me everything that's assigned to me that was created between these dates, with this priority, with this tag, and you can just kind of keep going to get the exact criteria that you want. You can flag negative symbols on here to get the opposite of certain ones. So it's really flexible in terms of how you see stuff. Okay, so the way you create a new issue is you click on New Issue, and then you just type. And you could say capitalize the letter A, change this color, whatever, and you can hit Submit. There's keyboard shortcuts for all of this under the Help screen. You can hit Help keyboard shortcuts and see those. So anyway, that's ultimately the bare minimum of what you have to do. Just click New Issue, type it in, hit Submit. Make sure you're on the right project. But there's a few other options as well. Down here at the bottom on the left, you have normal. You can say change your the severity of the issue. Obviously, don't make everything showstopper. That would be kind of defeat the purpose. You can say whether it's a task, bug, cosmetics issue, exception, feature, usability problem. Most of these are self-explanatory. Again, these things down here, these fields, are unique to the project. Some of them are shared, but you can add and remove them on a per project basis. You can say whether it's open, that means it still needs to be addressed. Whether it's currently being done, means in progress. Pending, waiting on info means, you know what, in order to address this issue, information needs to be supplied. If it's complete, pending review, usually if that means that, hey, I think it's complete before it really is complete, it's got to go to review. Complete fixed means that it's done, finished, done deal. Reopened, can't reproduce, duplicate. Duplicate, by the way, if you flag something as a duplicate, it's going to ask you what item this duplicates, because it keeps track of internally how that works. So you could say things like is duplicated by, relates to, because sometimes you can't do an issue until or address an issue until something else is fixed. And that's why you would want to do this. Like, this depends on this other issue being resolved before I can address this. Or sometimes multiple people will see the same thing and not know or look that this thing's been flagged already and say generally the same thing. You just say, hey, this is a duplicate, marks it as complete, tracks it, so you don't have to worry about it. Won't fix. A lot of times you just go, you know what, we've decided that it doesn't make sense to address this. Somebody said, hey, this doesn't work because I unplugged my computer. Well, that's not an issue to fix, so you say won't fix. Funny enough, I had one just similarly like that almost. So incomplete means, incomplete. Obsolete is old, and verified means yes, I see this issue. So you can kind of choose which ones you want to use. Unassigned, you can assign it to an individual person. YouTrack keeps everyone in the loop on who needs to be notified when. So if you comment on an issue, if you make an issue, if you do anything where you need to be notified, it will notify you. And it will do that in the form of either an email notification and or an IM notification through the Jabber protocol. iChat is a Jabber client. There's all kinds of Jabber clients for your desktops. If you want to get IMs or emails, you can do that as well. You specify how you get notified in your profile. Under notifications up at the top, you can choose to see Jabber, email, what form of email, all different various projects. If you want to change how you're being notified, you can do that. The defaults usually work pretty well. Okay. So subsystem, don't worry about that. And then obviously if it's unique to specific browsers, you can select that. You can also use this create an issue bookmarklet. You can drag that to your browser window, and then when you're on another website, you can click that, and it will allow you to do all of those same things without actually leaving that frame. The other really cool thing, and this is really cool, specific to YouTrack, is I can hit Command Control Shift 4, draw out a box around the screen, click Attach or hover over Attach, and then choose Image from Clipboard without preview. It won't create a file, it won't do anything other than attach a screenshot of what I just did, or just took, to this particular issue. You might have to hit allow. And there it is. You hover over it, you see the screenshot, you can delete it, rename it, whatever. There it is. Really cool because a lot of times you can just say, fix this, and take a screenshot. Picture speaks 1,000 words. So that is how you create a issue. Now, you can also tag things. So up here, I can say tag, and I can just type some arbitrary text. Now, tags by tagging like that is not super useful, but I will show you the way that. Actually, I'll go into it now. The way that it's useful is because you can tag something with just some arbitrary text. That's great and all, but a lot of times you might have an issue that says, "Hey, I need copy," and that copy you need it from a designer, but that designer needs it from the client. So rather than having you say, hey, I need this copy, and assign it to the designer, and then the designer going, hey, client, I need this copy, it's kind of the same issue. And so what I usually do in those situations is go, if I need some copy, then what I will do is I will tag it with something that says like need client request or something like that. And then what I can do is generate a URL that simply shows those tags and say, hey client, this is what I need from you. But I didn't have to create a duplicate issue for it. So tagging is really convenient for something like that. You can also, in your tags, which again, your tags don't show up to other people by default, you'd have to click inside of a tag, click edit tag, and say visible for group, all users, in order for it to be visible. You can color code it too if you want. So anyway, that's kind of how tags work. So then when you create an issue, anyone can reference it. Like in these, CPB, -4, for example. If I do a search for that, that shows up. I can click on it, I can see that issue. And here I can see kind of all the stuff that you've previously seen with me. You have a title and a description. You can see the discussion history. I can even see who's online, and what the discussion is that's related to this. There's private discussion, so you could flag specific things as only visible to certain people, or to everyone. You can see the screenshots here just by hovering over them. You can see what the duplicates are, what other issues that this duplicates. I can see the entire history of this issue. That's more detail than I really care about. But also the linked issues. These other things are related to this, if I wanted to see that. And again, that's just because you can go up here and go link, relates to, and then select another issue. So that's how that works. I can even in real time make comments on the duplication, which is kind of nice. Under the linked issues, I can again hit the right arrow to step inside of one of these or expand it, and do that. So, what else? Oh, the watchers. Down here, if I expand this, you'll see that 3 people are watching it. And watchers just means people who get notified when something changes about this. And literally anything changes. You can add someone manually as a watcher if I wanted to. You can say hit star on behalf of and type and select somebody's name. Or you can just let it be and people automatically get added as a watcher when they need to be notified of something. And that is pretty much how you use YouTrack from a tracking tool. I won't go into the administration of that. That's saved for a separate discussion. But that's pretty much how you use it. And so you can just bring up the list of things you need to knock off. You go through. You go, oh, I need to do this. A lot of times people will say, hey, replacement copy right here. And they'll add the replacement copy. You just come in. You just click the little icon. It copies it. You go. You replace your content, do whatever, come over here, change it to complete, go back here, show me the non-resolved things, and keep knocking them off the list until you have no more issues remaining. And that's it. So hope this gives you a good kind of understanding of how to use YouTrack. Feel free to play around with it. You can't really do any damage. If you have specific questions, you can ask me or the project manager. That's it. Talk to you later.